Good evening and welcome to the Township Committee meeting of September 28, 2021. Ms. Bork, please call the roll.
Committeewoman Erickson, Committeeman Thompson,
Here.
Committeeman Wright,
Present.
Deputy Mayor Delpore,
Here.
Mayor Lapani,
Here.
Administrator Pereira,
Here.
Attorney Willard.
Here.
Please join me in salute to the flag. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be advised that in accordance with Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, that the notice of this meeting was made by the posting on the bulletin board at the Hillsborough Township Municipal Complex and notifying the officially designated newspaper that this meeting would take place at the Hillsborough Township Municipal Complex at 7:30 p.m. on September 28, 2021. First order of business would be a approval of minutes dated July 13, 2021, regular session minutes. May I have a motion to approve the July 13 regular session minutes?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Committeeman Thompson,
Yes.
Committeeman Wright,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Delpore,
Yes.
Mayor Lapani.
Yes.
You'll
Next.
abstain, sir.
Huh?
You'll abstain.
I abstain.
Thank you.
Sorry. I thought it was there, but maybe not. I'm abstaining. Reports from committee liaisons. First one up will be Committeeman Thompson.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple of things for me this evening. First up, from our municipal courts. The municipal court is still holding virtual sessions. If you have a court date and are unable to connect at home, a laptop is available at the Violation Bureau window located here at the municipal building. From our police department, it's again, participating in the National Take Back Initiative, a program from the DEA for residents to safely dispose of their unused, unwanted, or expired household medicines. If you have a household medicine that you wish to dispose of, please come to the department located in the municipal complex on Sunday, October 23rd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. From health, the health department gave out over 200 well water sample kits to the drinking water after Tropical Storm Ida. The project will extend another week to allow those with bacteria to have their wells disinfected and retested again. The health department, in cooperation with Greenbrook Family Medicine, also gave out 130 flu vaccines on September 9th and September 23rd. We are tentatively planning another clinic for October 7th. And last, from health, the next COVID vaccine clinic will be at the YMCA on Saturday, October 2nd from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson vaccines will be available there. From the Social Services Department, the Community Assistance Network, or CAN, is holding a drive-up perishable food distribution event on Thursday, September 30th at 10 a.m. at the Willard Road Complex. Distributed items include cheese, produce, and meat products. The event is open to all Hillsborough residents who can use perishable items. Register at the Hillsborough Township website or by calling 908-369-3880. From our Recreation Department, the Hillsborough Parks and Recreation will have no shortage of Halloween-themed events this year, offering opportunities for all residents to participate. On Thursday, October 28th, we'll be hosting our 7th annual Children's Halloween Party at Norris Hill Farm from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. The event is $10 per child, includes a walk through the children's Bail Maze, hay ride to the pumpkin patch, and much more. Pre-registration is required on the Parks and Recreation website for that. On Saturday, October 30th, starting at 8:30 a.m., the annual Dog Halloween Parade and costume contest will take place at Ann Vans Middleworth Park. During the event, families and pets will be able to gather in the dog park while our Hillsborough Girl Scouts rank the costumes and select prize winners, such as Best Costume, Best Group Costume, and more. All prizes are donated from local businesses, and this is sure to be another great event. No pre-registration is required for that. Just show up. Returning this year is also our Trunk or Treat at the Willard Road Complex. This is an excellent option for young trick-or-treaters. The Trunk or Treat will take place on Saturday, October 30th from 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. Families can provide a decorated trunk vehicle as well as candy to hand out to the trunk-or-treaters. Pre-registration is required, and there is no cost to participate. Trunk-or-treaters will also be able to vote for the Best Trunk Award, so get creative. It was a great event last year, so I hope everyone can make that. Also returning this year is our Go Green for Halloween costume exchange. Residents can drop off gently used Halloween costumes between October 4th through the 7th, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. at the rec office. They can then come back on Friday, October 8th between 8 to 4:30 or Saturday, October 9th between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. to pick up your new-to-you costumes at the front multipurpose room. And last, from the Somerset County Diversity Festival is being held at 20th Grove Street in Somerville on October 9th from 12 to 4. This event is open to the public and will feature entertainment, games, raffles, drawings, including everything is free and everyone is welcome. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Committeeman Thompson. Committeeman Wright.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. From the Public Works Department, the Public Works Department has been working diligently on many of the different Tropical Storm Ida-related issues in town. From an infrastructure perspective, the DPW crews, along with contractors, have been addressing many of the washouts that were affected the integrity of the ditch line and sides of the road. DPW crews have made great progress in getting these areas stabilized, but a more permanent fix will be required in the near future. Now, over 500 tons of flood-related household have been collected, loaded, and trucked away by the DPW trucks and local contractors from the various programs provided to the residents. This has been an audacious process considering the nature of the work, and transfer sites have been limited schedules for accepting flood-related debris. The Alton Road facility will no longer provide special days for flood item drop-off as this program has concluded. The current focus for the department will pivot back to our typical road maintenance work as we resume our schedule, crack sealing program, and other road repairs for the month of October. Please see the Public Works page on the Hillsborough Township website for more information of the DPW's current programs. Now, building. As a reminder from the building department, the permits filed for flood damage are being expedited. Engineering. The engineering department would like to inform the residents that the Township Committee's approval of the 2021 capital budget includes a $75,000 sidewalk repair item. This exceeds some townships that put all sidewalks to the responsibility of the property owners. The engineering department put a bid out for this, and they awarded it to FDM Construction Co. The engineering department, along with the Department of Public Works, reviews sidewalk areas in the township and replaces sections of the sidewalk that are considered pedestrian trip hazards. The department concentrates on high walk areas first to try to complete developments and or street areas it funds allowed. So in other words, they want to finish the whole sidewalk. They don't want to do bits and pieces. Now, the mayor will be providing future updates on specific areas. If there's any uneven sidewalks in your development, you can call the Department of Public Works and they will install a temporary asphalt patch material to help eliminate the trip hazard. Your area will then go on a list of sidewalks will replace when funding is approved in future years. High walk areas are always top priorities. This does not include driveways, the aprons, the sidewalks that cross your driveway. Per township code, driveway areas are the responsibility of the property owners. That concludes my report. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Committeeman. Deputy Mayor Delcor.
Thanks, Mayor. A couple items. From the finance area, the 2021 final and the 2022 preliminary tax bills have been mailed. If you do not receive one, please contact the finance office. If you receive the invoice that says for advice only, that is a bill for your record, so you may compare that to the escrow that your mortgage company is taking from as part of your mortgage payments. So you should have those received very shortly. If you don't, please reach out to our finance group. As we're coming up on fall, it's time to kick off our Scarecrow Festival, and that's all going to start this Sunday, October the 3rd. We have more than 40 scarecrows that will be on display here at the municipal building in the grassy knoll next to the rain garden, and they will stay there until through October the 27th. It's really a nice, true community event. We have a number of businesses, community groups, township employees, and residents that are all participating. We hope you can stop by and take a look at all the scarecrows up close, and then stay tuned to the Mayor's e-news, the Township website, and Hillsborough Township's Facebook page to learn how to vote for your favorite scarecrow. From the Municipal Alliance, the Municipal Alliance would like to invite you to attend a virtual screening of the Upstanders on October 5th at 7 p.m. It's a film-based education program about resilience, attention, and the power of connection to end bullying. The film explores cyberbullying, bullying amongst friends, family, coworkers, and the brain science behind it all. You can learn more at theupstanders.com. Just a reminder, that's October the 5th, 7 p.m. For that virtual screening. Regarding our energy programs, PSE&G has just sent out a safety notice to try to keep their employees and your pets safe. Please note, PSE&G employees are not allowed to enter a yard unless dogs are secured in a kennel, a dog runner in the house. If the employee needs to work inside your home, the dog should be secured behind a closed door. Holding your dog using chains, ropes, or collars doesn't always keep the employee safe, and safety is always PSE&G's #1 priority for both their employees and your pets and family. So just a reminder, please work to make sure that when they're there, you have your pets contained. And finally, Foothill Acres. I think we all know there's a shortage of medical personnel, of health industry needs right now. And so Foothill Acres is hosting a job fair on Thursday, this September the 30th. That's this Thursday from 1 to 4 p.m. at their location at 39 East Mountain Road. They're currently hiring for all departments, not just the medical staff. And that's all shifts. And you can email foothillacres@gmail.com to ask questions, RSVP, or schedule a virtual interview. I'm sure there are some people could use an opportunity there at their facility. So if you're interested, please reach out to foothillacres.com or attend their job fair on Thursday from 1 to 4. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor Delcor. All right. In case you missed it, September 18th was a perfect day to celebrate Hillsborough Township's 250th anniversary. It was very fortunate. We had a nice day for our parade and honoring our veterans. It was a pleasure to meet all the Hillsborough residents who lined the parade route to cheer on our veterans, first responders, our township employees, our scouts, our athletes, and other groups. Thank you to everyone who participated in making the parade a success, and to our Grand Marshal, Tom Solili Jr. Also, a little different thing. Last week, Bridgewater Mayor Matthew Mensch challenged me to a bet. If Bridgewater Raritan High School won last Saturday's football game against Hillsborough, I would have to wear that team's jersey to work on Monday. And if Hillsborough High School won, Mayor Mensch would wear the honorable Cardinal and Gold of Hillsborough. Well, if you didn't know, Hillsborough won. So I had the pleasure of delivering a jersey to Mayor Mensch on Monday for him to wear, and he was a good sport about it. Both teams actually played very well. It was a very well contested game, and it really wasn't in the bag until about 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So I was a little nervous, quite honestly. But he actually wore a jersey. That was my brother's jersey when he played for Hillsborough back in 1995. And the last time he wore that jersey, they lost to Bridgewater like 41-0. So it was kind of an exercise in the demons moment for my brother. So congrats to both teams. And we discussed, I think it'd be a fun challenge for any mayors in the future to do. I think it's a fun thing. So thank you to Mayor Mensch for being a good sport and wearing the jersey. We are also excited to update Hillsborough residents on the completion of many sidewalk and roadway projects thus far, as Community Right highlighted to some of them. The following were part of the 2021 capital budget, including East Mountain Road between Amwell and Mountain View Roads, Mountain View Road between 206 and Pleasant View Road, Williamsburg Drive, Waybridge Drive, Bywater Way, Bywater Court, Rivendell Roads, Silver Lode Court, Dundane Street, Snowbourne Place, Lorien Place, Veterans Way, and Warwick Roads. All roads were completed in their entirety. This project included ADA ramps and stormwater inlet upgrades. Phase 1 of the Amsterdam Drive was completed thanks in part to an NJDOT local aid grant of $470,000, which I'd like to thank our engineering department and Tom Ballinger, who always applies for these grants, which takes a big burden off our taxpayers to do these large roads. Also completed in the conjunction with Manville was half the width of Brooks Boulevard. The total cost of the above improvements equaled $1,802,336. Additionally, among the improvements were several roads that were repaired as part of the PSE&G ongoing gas project at no cost to the township, including Lynn Court, Meadowbrook Drive, Coronet Way, Crestwood Avenue, Westbrook Avenue, Cumberland Avenue, South Triangle Road, and Camplain Road between Route 206 and Sunnymead Road. This project also included partial repaving of Triangle Road, New Amwell Road, and Old Camplain Road. There are still some of Triangle Road to be completed later this fall if time, once all the final construction will be finished. $75,000 was budgeted for sidewalk improvements. The following roadways had sections of sidewalks replaced in order to prevent pedestrian safety hazards: Stockton Road, Gaffney Road, Moore Road, and Huey Lane. The total cost of repairs equaled $55,680. The remaining $20,000 will address other areas as needed. The Public Works will also report the following infrastructure repair to 2021 to date: 14 linear miles thus far of crack sealing on Triangle Road, New Amwell Road, Beekman Lane, 155 storm drain repairs across the township, and a mill and fill pothole repairs that include 600 tons of asphalt to repair over 700 potholes. It was a tough winter, if you didn't see it. Roadway improvements projects are now more costly than ever in the past as a result to mandated ADA requirements and NJDEP stormwater regulations. These mandates account for between 6 to a 10% increase in project costs. The ADA requirement includes handicap ramps to provide better access and mobility for handicapped residents. The stormwater catch basins retrofits meet the NJDEP requirement and also provide a sustainable component, which the township is Sustainable Jersey Silver certified. So busy on the roads, more to come next year, as we do every year as we continue our projects. Our engineering firm, Pannoni Engineering, would like to inform you that our engineering consultant will be inspecting storm drainage outfall pipes throughout the township to determine if they're in good working order. This is a per DEP regulation that we have to do every few years. These outfall pipes carry stormwater to detention basins, streams, ditches, etc. The inspection will take place for approximately 2 to 3 months. Some of these outfall pipes are in the back of residences' houses and properties and business owners' properties, so the inspectors will need to walk through properties to gain access for inspection. The Pannoni engineering staff will have reflective vests and identification. The staff will not have township vehicles because they are using their personal vehicles for these inspections. If a property owner has any concerns, you can contact the engineering department and they can advise the locations of the inspections. Starting today through October 3rd, I've been saying that date now for about 40 times with Kaz on my tour. Hillsborough 4th Annual Restaurant Week is here. Starting today, obviously, local restaurateurs are offering specials that promote delicious selections, including price-fixed menu dishes, combos, and daily or weekly special menus that represent their unique cuisine and recipes. There is something for every palate. See the Mayor's Tour on Hillsborough Township YouTube channel to see some delectable dishes from participating restaurants. I'll just say that the restaurants in our town are great. They're very hospitable. They're very excited to provide a little flavor for our residents, something different. So I would encourage you to at least try and hit 1 or 2, if not for lunch or dinner, or use takeout. And if you are supporting Restaurant Week, we'd love you to share it. Send us the pictures of the food, restaurants visit, or anything that showcased our hard work and passion of our local eateries. All photos can be emailed to hba@hillsborough-nj.org. Please let us know if we can share your photo on social media. And if we share your Restaurant Week photo on social media, don't forget to use the hashtag Borough Restaurant Week 21. For an up-to-date list of participating restaurants as well as menu items and specials, please visit the Restaurant Week site at the hillsboroughbusiness.org site. Check back often for daily updates. The Restaurant Week offerings cannot be combined with any other special offers or discounts. So there's your disclaimer. But I would encourage you to try maybe a restaurant you haven't seen before or not. There are a lot of great restaurants out there. Just a reminder, we mentioned it last meeting. Come and join me and the mayor and the police chief for the day, Adeline Eck, at the Norris Hill Farm Fall Festival, Sunday, October 3rd, 2021 at 12 noon as we officially open the Norris Hill Farm Corn Maze, pictured here. This year, owners Rich and Debbie Norris dedicated this year's design to the 250th anniversary by featuring the words Hillsborough 1771 in the cornfield. With the over 2 miles of paths spreading over 5 acres of farm, you're sure to have an amazing time. We are looking forward to officially opening the corn maze with the Norris family as well as my mayor for the day, Adeline Eck. Please come out and support the Norris family and their amazing fall festival. So if that's not enough walking for you, I invite Hillsborough residents to join me at the Duke's Farm on Sunday, October 10th for the Mayor Wellness Walk and Talk. Registration opens at 9:30 a.m. and we begin walking at 10. The Mayor's Wellness Walk and Talk will take approximately 1 hour and begin at the end of the Farm Barn Orientation Center. Registration will be available on the website or in the e-news. After the walk, you can browse at the famous Duke's Farm Two-Table Market. There's a lot of farms in there. We say again, famous Duke Farms Farm Two-Table Market. I hope to see you there. As always, you can stay connected with the event and all events via the Wednesday e-newsletter. Be sure to follow and like us on the official Hillsborough Township Facebook page and on Twitter. TV29 and the Hillsborough YouTube channel showcase our meetings and Hillsborough The Good Life episodes and Hillsborough alerts for traffic and emergency notifications. So that's all I have for the news that's fit to print. So now we have some special guests here that I'm sure want to go home and do homework probably because that's all these guys have to do. So we do have a few proclamations to talk about today. And as usual, after receiving your recognition and posing for a picture, we ask please return to your seat. We will then pause at the end of all the recognitions to allow you for your departure, unless you want to stay. So at this time, I will come down and we'll begin our proclamations. So our first recipient is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Do we have a representative here from that? Great. Hold the frame. For you. So October is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which is an annual campaign to increase awareness for the disease, encourages early detection, and support research to find a cure. While we have seen an increase in mammography rates and a decline in deaths, there is more we can do. The National Cancer Institute estimates that the United States, more than 281,550 female and 2,650 males will have new cases of breast cancer will be diagnosed this year. Kathleen Cirioli, you gotta say it slow and say all the nonsense, a 3-time cancer survivor, and Joanne Liskovitz are co-founders of Dance for a Cure, a nonprofit organization that has helped local families impacted by breast cancer, providing financial assistance to local women impacted by breast cancer with donations totaling over $800,000. I gotta applaud that. Since its founding in 1999. So therefore, let it be proclaimed that we, the mayor and the township committee, do hereby recognize all the above and declare October 2021 as National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We encourage and urge all women and their families to increase their knowledge about breast cancer and join us to celebrate success and memorialize those battles. Congratulations. Please have a moment to speak.
Thank you, and we thank the township for recognizing us each year with this proclamation. It's very special, and important to us. Thank you so much. We have an upcoming fundraiser, which is how we raise our funds to help all of these women in Somerset, Hunterdon, and Middlesex County. And Joanne, you want to talk about our fundraiser?
Yeah, our fundraiser is called Ribbons of Hope, and it's held each October up at the Bridgewater Marriott. We have somewhere in the neighborhood of 400 attendees. We had to cut it down a little bit this year because of COVID and trying to keep our social distance and stuff. But we're very happy to be having our event this year, and we appreciate the support of all the businesses in Hillsborough who generously donate to our event so that we really have a magical night and we get to help a lot of people. So thank you so much for that.
Will DeAndre? Good thing you sat me in. All right. I'm trying to look taller. I think it's gonna work. Will DeAndre, Hillsborough High School junior and member of Boy Scout Troop. Will. Good. All right. Will DeAndre, a Hillsborough High School junior and a member of Boy Scout Troop 489, has earned the rank of Eagle Scout. Will's Eagle Scout project consists of installing new hand sanitizer stations at Hillsborough Outdoor YMCA Children's Day Camp. The project involved cutting wood and PVC board, mixing concrete, and screwing material together at the convenient height for a child. The project took 59.7 hours to complete with the assistance of 8 volunteers and will help reduce exposure to COVID-19 viruses, minimize indoor hand washing visits, and reinforce clean habits. Will served as patrol leader, webmaster, den chief, and historian. Will has been active in various recreational, school, and club sports teams for more than 8 years, with a focus on soccer, goalkeeping. He has also volunteered for Operation Shoebox. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that we, the mayor and Hillsborough Township Committee, do hereby recognize and extend our sincere congratulations to Will DeAndre for having achieved the rank of Eagle Scout, an honor for both himself and those who guided him, and best wishes for a bright future. Congratulations.
I would like to thank the Township Committee and the Mayor for recognizing my achievement. Also, I'd like to thank my mom and dad.
Man will take a picture. Jack Dankers. Let's have the history of Jack here. Jack Danker is a Hillsborough High School senior and a member of Boy Scout Troop 489, has earned a rank of Eagle Scout. Jack's Eagle Scout project consists of constructing 2 large wheelchair accessible garden boxes for the Hillsborough Parks and Recreation Department at the rear of the municipal building to be used by the Neshannock Garden Club. The project took 150 hours to complete with the assistance of 5 scouts and 3 adults. Jack served as a patrol leader, den chief, quartermaster, and program aide Akanikan Scout Reservation. Is that close? Jack serves as an usher in the Faith Lutheran Church and volunteers at the Save Animal Shelter and Operation Shoebox. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that we, the mayor and the Hillsborough Township Committee, do hereby recognize and extend our sincere congratulations to Jack Dankers for having achieved the rank of Eagle Scout, an honor for both himself and those who guide him, and wish him the brightest future. Congratulations.
I would like to thank the mayor for recognizing my achievements as well as the committee. I would also like to thank my parents for their support over the last however many years, as well as Mr. Demetrio for assisting me in my Eagle Scout project.
She's good at doing two pumps. She's got it.
Thank you.
Christopher J. Demetrio, if there's more than Christopher Martin, I'll be more than one Christopher. Christopher J. Demetrio, a Hillsborough High School junior and member of Boy Scout Troop 489, has earned the rank of Eagle Scout. Christopher's Eagle Scout project consists of planning, fundraising, organizing, building, and staining 4 sturdy benches to be placed at the Woods Road Elementary School playground. The project took 107 hours to complete with the assistance of 6 scouts and 5 adult leaders. Christopher served as patrol leader, assistant senior patrol leader, and quartermaster. He also is a lifeguard and canoeing merit badge counselor at camp, that's that same one, Akanikan. Christopher has 32 merit badges, earning a bronze and gold palm. Christopher is an honor roll student and member of the Hillsborough High School cross country and track team. He volunteers at Save Animal Shelter and Camp Akanikan as a CIT. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that we, the mayor and the Hillsborough Township Committee, do hereby recognize and extend our sincere congratulations to Christopher J. Demetrio for having achieved the rank of Eagle Scout, an honor for both himself and those who guided him, and wish him the best for a bright future. Congratulations.
I would like to thank the township community and the mayor for recognizing my achievement with the proclamation. I'd also like to thank my mom and my dad for helping and supporting me throughout my project.
Thank you.
Congratulations. All right. Neil? Neil B. Patel, a Hillsborough High School senior and member of Boy Scout Troop 489, has earned his rank of Eagle Scout. Neil's Eagle Scout project consists of trail conservation by the constructing a 16-foot long by 6-foot wide bridge at Skillman Park in Skillman, New Jersey. This project diverted foot traffic from the drainage route, which allowed for a decrease in soil erosion. This project took a total of 160.5 hours with the assistance of 18 people to complete. A lot of people volunteered for that one. Neil served as a senior patrol leader, and assistant senior patrol leader. Neil is a member of the National Honor Society, French Honor Society, and the Hillsborough High School varsity track and cross country team. He's also a Hillsborough High School peer mentor. He also volunteers on the National Youth Leadership Training as a staff member. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that we, the mayor and the Hillsborough Township Committee, do hereby recognize and extend our sincere congratulations to Neil B. Patel for having achieved the rank of Eagle Scout, an honor for both himself and those who guide him, and wish him best for a bright future. Congratulations.
First, I'd like to thank the mayor and the township committee for recognizing this achievement today. I'd also like to thank my parents for helping me throughout the whole entire Eagle process, driving me to events and all that stuff. And also Mr. Dankers for helping me with my Eagle project and guiding me through the final steps of getting Eagle.
That's it. Who's left? Michael, come on up, Michael. They say best for last, right? So Michael Soldis, a Hillsborough High School junior and member of Boy Scout Troop 489, has earned the rank of Eagle Scout. If you haven't figured out why we're here a lot. Michael's Eagle Scout project consisted of constructing an outdoor classroom at the Hillsborough YMCA using recycled wood pallets to create a table and wooden rounds as stools. The project took 128 hours to complete with the assistance of 5 scouts and 4 adults. Michael served as senior patrol leader, assistant senior patrol leader, troop guide, and sea-based crew leader in St. Thomas. That's a good gig. Michael is an honors and AP student and is on the executive board of the Hillsborough High School TED Ed Club. He also volunteers with the Borough Buddies program as a mentor to children in kindergarten through the 4th grade. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that we, the mayor and Hillsborough Township Committee, do hereby recognize and extend our sincere congratulations to Michael Soldis for having achieved the rank of Eagle Scout, an honor for both himself and those who guided him, and we wish him the best for a bright future. Congratulations.
On behalf of myself, my family, and my troop, I'd like to thank the mayor and the township committee for recognizing my achievement and presenting me with this award. Thank you.
All right, you got a minute. Come on up. So that's all the proclamations we have. So we'll take a quick 5-minute break for those who want to go home and do homework, because I'm sure these kids all have tons of it. And we'll reconvene in that quarter after, okay? Hillsborough, New Jersey, celebrating 250 years of a rich history.
Hi, I'm Mayor Sean Lapani, and I'm proud to showcase Hillsborough, one of the best places to live in America.
From the preserved farms that help feed the world, to the Vanderveer House, to the John R. Stott's house, restored and currently utilized for business, to the magnificent and world-famous Duke Farms,
Where you can walk or ride a bike through their historic grounds. To the iconic Neshannock Reformed Church, and just down the road is our fabulous Neshannock Mill, located right on the picturesque Raritan River.
you're invited to visit Hillsborough, a great place to live, work, play, and do business anytime. And experience over 250 years of proud history in Hillsborough, New Jersey. Hillsborough, New Jersey, celebrating 250 years of a rich history.
Hi, I'm Mayor Sean Lapani, and I'm proud to showcase Hillsborough, one of the best places to live in America.
From the preserved farms that help feed the world, to the Vanderveer House, to the John R. Stott's house, restored and currently utilized for business, to the magnificent and world-famous Duke Farms,
where you can walk or ride a bike through their historic grounds, to the iconic Neshannock Reformed Church, and just down the road is our fabulous Neshannock Mill, located right on the picturesque Raritan River.
You're invited to visit Hillsborough, a great place to live, work, play, and do business anytime. And experience over 250 years of proud history in Hillsborough, New Jersey. Hillsborough, New Jersey, celebrating 250 years of a rich history.
Hi, I'm Mayor Sean Lapani, and I'm proud to showcase Hillsborough, one of the best places to live in America.
From the preserved farms that help feed the world, to the Vanderveer House, to the John R. Stott's house, restored and currently utilized for business, to the magnificent and world-famous Duke Farms,
Where you can walk or ride a bike through their historic grounds. To the iconic Neshannock Reformed Church, and just down the road is our fabulous Neshannock Mill located right on the picturesque Raritan River.
you're invited to visit Hillsborough, a great place to live, work, play, and do business anytime. And experience over 250 years of proud history in Hillsborough, New Jersey. Okay, we're back. Congratulations to all our Eagle Scouts, and also best wishes to our cancer survivor and her project. That's an amazing feat. The amount of money they've raised, $800,000. That does a lot of good work. We have no new business at this time. So as usual, our next will be any public comment that is not on new business, that is not on the agenda for today. So if you have any comments that you want to make that is not on the agenda today, please come to the mic, state your name for the record, and make your comment.
Hi,
Hi, Meryl.
my name is Meryl Bisberg, 4 Hickory Hill Road. I just want to ask, are we going to have like a debriefing on what actually happened on our land and water in Hillsborough during Hurricane Ida in terms of number of rescues, number of structures lost, number of public and private vehicles lost, overall amount of damage, and most importantly, analysis of the roads which were most flooded and how to fix the street flooding drainage problems. I did hear the report about the roads, and I appreciate that a lot of road work has been done, which is probably scheduled already for this year. And maybe there was a chance to see how some of those new roads performed, but we did have 2 losses of life in 2 different parts of town. We could have had a third one on Gemini Drive if not for some brave 19-year-old. And I come up Willow Road and I sit at the light and I see that going north on Willow at Amwell, I see that drainage ditch that's right there on the right. And I just keep thinking about that poor girl who lost her life. So I just wanted to know if we're going to do some analysis, particularly on that, but on the flood overall.
Well, I don't know if we'll ever get an official number of cars lost, because I'm not sure if we would get that report, because they were all over the town. That would have to be supplied to us by outside sources. Maybe we have a count of how many cars we pushed off the road or towed away. But as far as the any post-mortem, we've already had the first meeting with all our emergency rescue people last week to talk about the storm and how that was handled. And I brought that up actually in the county call and asked the county. They hadn't even done theirs yet. So we were kind of ahead of the curve on that. And most towns haven't, quite honestly. So we are in the process of evaluating everything that happened in that storm. To your answer, most of the road projects are done for this year, 2021. So it'll be next year, 2022. But we are in still middle of a study done by Pannoni for that whole water area, which is not completed yet. So when that's done, we'll be able to share that information with you. But as far as number of total damage by the houses, I'm not sure if we'll have that at any time soon, because that's going to take some homework. So we'll see if we can get that for you as a wrap up to the storm. I'm sure the county is going to try and do something too, and they haven't even started doing any of that kind of stuff yet.
Well, they did speak quite broadly at their first meeting after the storm.
Yeah, of course, you're guesstimating.
They talked about specific municipalities.
Yeah.
So, I think they did inform the public, what they knew at the time. The other thing was, did we do any, I think there was some wellness check for seniors and disabled, but a lot of people didn't understand how fast the mold could form. And I didn't know if the Board of Health reached out to certify most properties, or if all properties were checked for that sort of damage too.
All properties that had water damage or had water in the basements? I mean,
It had anything that could have formed mold, yeah.
Well, I'm sure there are homes that had water that we don't even know of. So to say that we checked every house, that would not
I'm just
happen.
talking about the seniors and disabled. I know most, yeah.
I don't know that answer. I could find out for you.
Okay.
To be honest.
Mayor,
Yes,
if
Anthony.
you don't mind, I just want to let you know that we had teams of people in the flood areas, both our health department, DPW,
Mhm.
and fire and police all go out in teams and go to every house and check on them for a wellness check and to provide any services.
Yeah, that part we know, but as far as any seniors that may have been outside that area, I don't know if
Right.
we did.
Correct. I just want to let people know that. Thanks.
Next.
Maria Janusik, 720 East Freck Avenue, Manville, New Jersey. Also Hillsborough Township property owner, Block 86, Lot 32155 Camp Road. Mayor, you had mentioned some projects, including the repaving of Brooks Boulevard together with Manville Borough.
That's correct.
Were there any diagrams or anything available from Hillsborough showing what work was being done?
As far as what all it was repaving, I don't know what kind of work you're looking for or diagrams.
Yesterday, Manville Borough held their mayor and council meeting, and they discussed the repaving of Brooks Boulevard, and there was a resolution to get construction access easements from property owners that were along the road, I guess, where the repaving is being done. There were 8, and there were 8 diagrams that also mentioned construction. So I had asked, was there anything were there any pipes of any kind that were installed on Brooks Boulevard, sewer pipes or water pipes that then required repaving of that road?
Not that I'm aware of. I believe it was strictly just to repave the road because of age. We were sharing the cost with Manville because it was right on the border of that one section. Now, what Manville did on the full Manville side, we don't, that's outside our purview. If they needed to get some easements for pipe work done on their side of the property, don't know.
Well, no, they didn't say anything about pipes, but the
Or
resolution.
easements, so whatever
The
they need.
resolution was for, to get construction access easements, so
We
I was
didn't,
wondering if Hillsborough also required that.
there was no resolution for us to do any kind of easement work on that property. On that
If
road.
it's determined that, an easement is necessary, at this point, we're probably not necessary, but of course, we would have to go through the normal process if an easement is necessary to complete the paving work.
Okay. In regard to the Sherman Tract project of RPM Development LLC, so Block 86, Lot 21, which is being called the Sherman Tract, and it's around somewhere around 65 acres, that has no sewers and no public water. Were sewers installed on Camplain Road or Sunnymead Road that are going to extend into Block 86, Lot 21, the Sherman Tract?
You were at the planning board meeting as well as I, and my recollection is I think they are pulling a stub off of, off the Manville end into that.
Correct.
There's
There's a stub at the end of one, I can't recall the name of the road, but it's very near that property, and they're pulling in off of that stub in the Manville section.
So as far as sewers being,
Because it has to have sewer, it's not going to be septic.
so as far as sewers sewers going to be brought in by Hillsborough and connecting to the Manville outlet?
I believe that was, if I recall, I'm sure we can go back and look. That was the closest connection point. And we would pay for, the developer would have to incur all those costs.
And then those sewers are going to be part of Manville
No.
Borough's sewer?
Well, it would be a problem, if we had to use their sewer, we would have to pay a fee to send that out there. Just like if Manville had to use ours, when you're on a borderline, a lot of times it's which way is the easiest way to pump it, right? So if we had to get a sewer utility authority from Manville permission to do that, then we did. I don't recall exactly who it was going to, but I think I recall we were pulling off the stub. But we can check with Mr. Maskey. I'm sure he can tell you.
But is there a bigger question? I mean,
Yeah, because I know we did.
there will be sewers there,
And also public water.
There will be sewers, okay?
Has to be.
Because in the reports, the Sherman redevelopment report, all that stuff, they were saying that there are sewers available and water available, but on that property, 65 acres, there are no sewers and no water.
No, the available
And
meaning
so-
they got to pull it in from a nearby area. And that was all discussed at the planning board meetings that you were at.
There were a lot of things discussed. and
So
because-
if
because
you didn't
I-
ask the question then, my point is.
Because I'm not a professional, and because this impacts my property,
Yeah,
I
but-
am now asking these questions.
Well, it's kind of the water under the bridge, so to speak, because all those questions could have been answered again 6 months ago when the planning board heard the application. Because right now it's memorialized, and it's so if you really have a question on that, quite honestly, to come here and ask us that question without us having the plans here, as we've always said, is really because we can't give you definitive answers to where it's coming from. You should just contact Mr. Maskey and he can give you the map and show it to you. That would give you an exact answer that you want instead of coming to me and asking the question that I can't give you a definitive answer and saying, go see Mr. Maskey. So if you really have a question, I know you know where the office is, just go ask Mr. Maskey. It saves you time. You don't have to come here in the middle of the night if you don't want to. But what else do you have?
Okay, I have been doing what you suggest.
Okay.
When I wanted to find out about the permits that were granted by the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection,
Mhm.
Division of Land Use Regulation, I went to Thomas Bellinger, the
Mhm.
Assistant Township Engineer. I went to John Fiedler, the Construction Official, Hillsborough Township, and I went to David Maskey, the Director of Planning Zoning for Hillsborough Township.
Okay.
And no one provided copies of the permits.
It may
that
not have been
are-
issued
that are
yet.
required- That are required for that development.
Mr. Coyce didn't get back to you on that?
And Mr. Coyce has not gotten back to me, and I wanted.
I believe that is completely inaccurate. I saw the email he sent to you. He absolutely responded to you on that matter.
I looked at my emails and I had nothing from David Coyce.
But to answer your other question, I didn't receive the email, but the DEP permit may have not been issued yet because it may have been applied for and not issued.
Well, how
So
can they-
until it's
how can-
issued, we would not have a copy of it.
But they've since been issued, and I
Yeah,
believe
right, so-
Ms. Janus's been provided with them. But if she hasn't and you want copies, you can contact the planning and engineering departments.
I'm sorry, you said I have been provided with
I
the
was
permit?
under the impression that you were, but if you weren't and you want copies, please feel free to contact the planning department. They're open Monday through Friday from, I think it's 8:30 to 4 o'clock or 4:30?
8 to 4:30.
8 to 4:30, I'm sorry.
Thank you. I have done that more than once.
Okay.
I have done that more than once, and I have not gotten any copies of any permits from the granting approvals for that development. So I keep getting a runaround, and that's why I come here, and I get the same runaround of go and speak with them over there.
Very
I'm
well.
looking at it right now.
As a property owner, I received letters that are legal notification that were sent via United States Postal Service certified mail stating that there were permits that were required. So as a property owner, I'm impacted by that development. I got these legal notifications, and so I'm asking for these permits. So this is one more time that I'm asking, and I did not receive a reply from
Deputy Mayor, could you answer her question?
I'm looking at it right now. It was sent to you on September the 20th by Mr. Coyce.
September 20th? Okay, I have to look at my emails and see. Maybe it went into something else.
So we did
I
respond
did
and
not
you're
see it.
saying we didn't. So.
No, I said I did not receive it.
Well, you did,
And-
September 20th. It was sent. I can't control what you got on your computer, but Terry, he has a copy of it right here.
Well, I don't see it.
All
You can
right.
tell me anything.
All right, well, so you can tell
me
us.
anything.
Is there anything
I
else?
did not see it. You can
Okay.
tell me anything.
Sure.
I will check at home.
It was
Okay.
in
and I will
response
see.
to your email dated the 15th. So it was in reply to what you had said.
Okay, I will check at home. As of right now, I did not see it. So
Okay.
I'm being told, but I'm not seeing it. So
Okay,
that's how it stands right now.
okay.
Now, I had received via a request for government records through the Open Public Records Act, I got a copy of the plat for Block 86, Lot 21. First of all, this project by RPM was supposed to be Phase 1, and it was supposed to be on Lot 21.01. The plat is showing Block 86, Lot 21. And then on that plat, there are several signatures of various officials. And also there's a signature required by the Hillsborough Township Municipal Court, municipal clerk, but it's signed by someone else, not by Pamela Borek. So I don't know why someone else is signing.
What was the date of the signature?
Excuse me?
What was the date of the signature?
I don't remember.
Okay, I was on leave for a period of time, and the deputy clerk, Sarah Brake, may have signed it in my place.
Okay, may I ask when you came back?
It's really not, doesn't matter.
What does that, I was out for 2 months.
Because, yeah, so I can see the date. that-
Excuse me, Mayor, this is public comment. If you have a comment, please make a comment, not public question. If you have more comments, please make them.
Okay, also
So
on
public
this-
comment, thank you.
Also on this plat, there are dates that are not provided, where it was signed off by all these officials. There are no dates. No, there are dates missing on that.
Okay. Else?
So now, I've seen articles in regard to some of the developments that are approved by, not approved by, but that are proposed by Hillsborough. There's one here that says Hillsborough developer agreed to 468 homes on Manville border. So this is the M&M Realty Partners development, where they're proposing 360 single-family homes and 88 affordable apartments. So the M&M Realty has a settlement agreement with Hillsborough. So they're going to construct a development with 380 homes that don't include any affordable housing. And the 88 homes that they're proposing for affordable housing are on property on the Sherman Tract, Phase 2.
That's correct.
They don't own any property on the Sherman Tract. How are they going to construct
Ms.
88
Janicek, with all due
affordable housing?
respect, I simply cannot have this conversation with you again. So, as you know, the township owns the Sherman Tract.
Yes.
As part of the settlement agreements, we have the ability to provide access to that property so that affordable housing can be built. I mean, I don't know how many more times we have to have this conversation.
Excuse me, please. The last conversation was in regard to RPM Development
There's two
LLC.
phases.
Who is, yes. And so they're supposed to be building on lot 21.01, which is all flim-flam. One's showing 21, one shows 21.01. However, I'm talking about M&M.
That's correct.
And
It
they
hasn't
have-
been in front
And
of
they
the,
have a settlement agreement dated October 15, 2019. They don't own this property.
Nope.
How can they, do they have a prior agreement with the township stating that they have authority, that either that land is going to be given to them, donated to them, sold to them, leased to them, that they can build the 88 affordable housing units on that second phase on Sherman Tract? Do they have an agreement with the township?
all that will be answered in the planning board meeting when they come in front of the planning board. But to tell you, we are deemed the redeveloper for that tract and go through the same process that RPM did that you came to all the meetings to. So they get, then at that point, they have to apply to the state for the ability to put the land there and put the homes there. It's the same process that RPM did. The only difference is it's the other half of the lot. So when they come to the planning board, it will all be vetted and done the same way as RPM was done. The only difference is RPM built 100% affordable only. M&M is taking their, in lieu of making payments to an affordable housing mandate or in building us, they're going to build 100% affordable on that property for us. It has not, that was the agreement, yet it has not been fulfilled because it's not gone through the planning board process. So you're kind of ahead of what's going on,
No. Okay.
okay? So the land has not been sold, it has not been vetted or approved by the township planning board nor the township committee. It's just strictly an agreement done with the Fair Share Housing and Judge Miller. And that's where we are.
Okay. And so how, is there something documenting that?
The settlement
that
agreement.
M&M is getting.
The settlement agreement.
Is getting
The
this.
settlement agreement,
Excuse me?
the settlement
This is
agreement,
what you have right
the
there.
settlement agreement. We talked about this. It's in the settlement agreement.
States that that M&M will be building on Block 86, Lot 21.
It's part of the settlement agreement.
Two settlement.
It is part of the settlement
But
agreement.
how can they do that if they don't have an agreement with you that they
It's part of this,
can
you,
build
it's,
on there?
remember the word agreement you just said? It's part of the settlement agreement.
I understand.
So
I
it's
understand.
agreed upon, but not-
Settlement agreement, no. How can they build on something that doesn't belong to them if you're not saying?
They can't build anything yet.
Does it state in here that you are giving them that property to build on?
So,
Just saying where, it's in the settlement agreement.
so the settlement
I
agreement
have a settlement
outlines the
agreement
under.
here. Show me
Ms.
where it
Janusik,
states.
please. This is the same argument we had with RPF. The township owns the property. We have the ability to allow someone to use it or develop it for affordable housing purposes if it helps us to achieve our affordable housing requirements. It's documented, as Committeeman Thompson noted, in the settlement agreement. Does it have the entire agreement from a site plan perspective? Of course not. It's the agreement that we have, and the understanding and intent is that that's how we will fulfill a portion of our affordable housing obligation. It is township property, and at some point, we will have to have an agreement when, as the mayor noted, it's a planning board approved project to figure out specifically how that will be transacted. We have a general agreement that says this is what the developer is going to build, and this is how our affordable housing requirements will be fulfilled as a result of that. You're asking for something that doesn't exist.
Yet.
And you have in here something also that doesn't exist because they do not have an agreement with you. How are these
They do have an
developers?
agreement with
I'm
us.
sorry, I
They
listened
have
to
the
you.
settlement
May I say
agreement.
something?
Okay.
How were these developers chosen? In the Sherman redevelopment plan, there was something where it was going to be either done by bid or whatever. How did these developers
Janusik?
just get these?
Okay, I'm going to answer this question, then we're going to move on because your time is up. The agreement was settled through Fair Share Housing with Judge Miller as an intervener. End of story, okay?
No,
So
that's not the end of it. You
thank
may
you.
want to end it this way, but that
That's
is not-
the answer,
that
but
is-
you may not want to
that
accept
is
it.
not correct.
So
Okay.
thank you for your comment.
Public
Next,
comment. Just any other comments?
Yes.
thank you.
Well, I think
Okay,
Comment only, no
Cut it
questions. So don't ask any questions, just a comment.
okay. In the minutes of the Hillsborough Township Planning Board dated March 12, 2020, there was consideration of ordinances, and the ordinance was 2020-08 to amend section on and on and on, residential districts by adding R8A zone to apply to block 182, lots 9, 11.01, and 46.
Ms. Janusik, that's on tonight's agenda, so you
No,
can't
not
make.
this ordinance.
Yes, it is.
Not
It's the
this
next thing up.
ordinance. No,
Is it?
not this ordinance.
It is.
The ordinance today is amending this ordinance.
So it's on part of it today's agenda
It
then.
is- If I were to bring this up, you would tell me this is not on today's agenda.
Well, you
So
can have
this
comment
ord- so
after we
this-
do the public
so-
hearing.
So this ordinance rezoned the former Glengarry Quarry. And it says the rezoning is part of the affordable housing process. How is this part of the affordable housing process if there won't be any affordable housing units on this property?
I'm not answering that question. We just
It's
did.
not a joke. It's not a
Thank you
joke.
for
It's
your,
not a-
thank you for your comment.
it's not-
Next.
it's not a-
Thank you for
It's
your,
not a joke and it's not
thank
funny.
you,
Because
because
they're not building any affordable housing on
Ms.
here.
Janusik,
How
I'm
did they
not,
get to rezone this and all this
I'm
stuff?
not-
And
we're
build
not in-
380 homes, and we talk about flooding issues and all this stuff, when this is what's going
Ms.
on.
Janusik,
I can only say this one more time.
Developments.
The reality is, we've had this conversation. It's
No.
part of the affordable plan because it's tied together. If you can't accept that, I don't know what to tell you. I just don't know what to tell you anymore.
I want to know, well, these processes, you tell me it's part of
No,
the
you
affordable
said, well,
housing.
how is this
It's tied
affordable
together.
housing?
That's it, it's tied together, that's it.
Because it's
How
tied
is it
together. It's part of the
How is it
settlement
tied together?
agreement.
How can this development that has no affordable housing, just like Toll Brothers, a gated
Just
golf course
Toll-
community is affordable housing? That's a
What?
joke.
I'm
That's
going
a
to
joke.
explain.
That's a joke.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. And I think
All right. That's the end.
Merrill, you have one more kick at the can.
Okay, so to Maria's point, in July, we were still looking at one Sherman Tract project, and there was a press release. This is July 2000.
20?
No, actually, no, it's 2019. Okay, so this is a press release. Hillsborough Township Committee gets first look at proposed Sherman Tract plan. So it was called a plan at that time, and it was for one contiguous piece of property, and it was, I don't know, 185 units or 175 units. Okay. And at the time, there were quotes from, people on the dais about how great this was going to be because it was all affordable, we weren't going to have to build any extra market rate houses. In fact, Doug Thompson said, although we find this forceful affordable housing obligation being thrown at us by the state as distasteful as it is, when you have a project like this where you put everything on one tract of land, similar to what we did with Amwell Road, which...
Is that a press release or a news article?
This is, it's from the Beacon.
Okay, words matter.
Okay.
News article,
So I guess
not
it's a
press
news
release.
article, you're right.
Thank you.
Which stopped 500 units from being built and prevented 1,100 new students from entering the schools. Using those rough numbers, by approving this and going forward with RPM, you're looking at stopping 600 to 700 new homes from being built in Hillsborough and preventing 1,200 to 1,400 new students coming into our school district, which would have been disastrous. But now we're sitting here, I don't know, a year plus later, and while
2 years.
RPM did do the half of the development, we're building 380 single-family homes, which equates to half of these numbers that Mr. Thompson's talking about here. So,
Commitment Thompson,
fair
first
question.
off, respectful, you're speaking to me and you're bringing me up. Everything I said in the article is accurate, and I stand by everything you said there. That project stopped the building of numerous units here in Hillsborough, prevented exacerbating the school crisis, which we absolutely have because the state of New Jersey has flat funded us. In fact, they've taken away funds from the state, from our schools, and you know that. We've seen this go on and on. We don't get additional money from the state for a whole host of different reasons, and yet we're being forced to build the original number. I think it was close to 10,000 affordable housing units they were throwing out there for us to try to build. I mean, this is all insane talk. So I stand by everything I said in that.
But this is no longer the project that this was. What we have today is no longer this project because we're building 380 single-family homes in order to get that second part of Sherman Tract done.
No, couldn't he have built that anyway? Couldn't he
Yes,
build that anyway? It's his
that
property.
was the
Couldn't he build that
conversation.
anyway? Why couldn't he build
I
that?
don't
It's
know,
his
we're always
property.
talking about buying.
All right, hold on a second. Why couldn't he have built that?
Why couldn't we have built?
Why
it?
couldn't he have built that?
Like we talked about here as being
And-
beneficial.
and we still-
If you want to answer the question, why couldn't he have built that?
He
Without
owned-
doing affordable there, why couldn't he have built that? Give me
The
a legal
gentle-
reason why
The
he couldn't have
gentleman
built
who
that.
owns that property
Why
has
couldn't
owned
he
it for
develop that
years.
property?
could have developed it.
Why not?
If he gotten through the planning board, but we're buying, we're buying land now to stop building.
Okay,
And we
I'm
have
just,
the perfect
But
solution.
Meryl,
as
you
we
know,
said,
Meryl, respectfully, you know
as
the way,
Deputy Mayor Delcourt
Ma-
also said in this article. I can
Meryl,
remember.
and you, I'm pretty sure you understand this, someone has to be willing to sell their property in order for someone to buy it, correct?
Yeah.
Someone has to be willing to sell. This gentleman who owns that property will never sell. Will never sell. We could have threw every dollar we wanted towards that property. They would have never sold that property that you're talking about. It would have never happened. He owned the cost cutter site for a decade and didn't do anything with it. Why? Because he had longer term plans.
I don't know
He
what
had
that
to
has
put-
to do with the fact that we could have built the Sherman Tract
Well,
as we planned,
Just
and
like
as we
you,
proposed.
just like you were talking about, the
Because we
prop.
owned it by then.
Okay, if you're going to cut me off, then I'm not going to have the ability to answer you. So thank you. Thank you.
Mayor, the Sherman Tract, it seems to me, is being built as proposed. It's just being done in two favors by two different people. You're looking at it and trying to criticize Mr. Thompson's comments, but his comments were 100% accurate. The Glengarry property could have been developed by Mr. Morris at any point in time without building any affordable housing. He didn't have to build any affordable housing. He could have made a contribution, or he could have made the whole site an increased density site, and instead of 300 units, had 500 units on there. I don't get what you're getting at. The bottom line is, by having a 100% affordable project, that just reduces the amount of obligations you have elsewhere.
All right, let me ask it another way. Did we talk to a
Public
lot of
comment.
but when RPM no longer was willing to do the second part, or I don't even know what happened. I know they got HMFA funding for the first part. I don't know if there was a reason they couldn't have gotten HMFA funding for phase 2. But did we go to any other, I don't want to call them nonprofit, but just affordable housing developers to see if that could be built without having to
Meryl, they need to apply to the state for that funding.
Mhm.
It is very competitive. There are way more people who apply than get approved. fact, it has to be, there's a long list of things that have to meet to get that application. RPM was able to get that development. So the chances of finding somebody else possibly to build another 88 units and get the same monies, it's really hard to say. And to your point, no other developer approached us to build 100% affordable on that kind of program.
And did we approach
We
them?
didn't talk to anybody that would do it, but they have to be willing to go through the process. But to the counselor's point, whenever someone builds something new, we have a 24% set aside, right? So that 24% set aside goes from the units directly over to the Sherman track is what it is. So he is building affordable housing. He's putting it right there on that site.
Mayor, can I ask you, you're not happy with the affordable housing being built around town, correct?
I'm not happy with the amount of development.
Great. So okay. Will you join me in reaching out to Assemblyman Zwicker and Assemblyman Fryman, Senator Bateman and Governor Murphy, Speaker Coughlin, and Senate President Sweeney, and ask them to address legislation that will stop this draconian affordable housing rules that the state of New Jersey has in place right now and create real rules? Will you join me in that? Can we do that? Can we do that? It's simple.
This is in the state Supreme Court and was in COA for a reason. There's an equity issue here. And, honestly, when words like distasteful are used, I feel like there's just an aversion to developing affordable housing.
No, I have an aversion to the state of New Jersey coming into any municipality and saying, we're going to tell you that you have to build a certain amount, or we're going to do a builder's remedy lawsuit and allow builders to run roughshod over your communities. That's what I find absolutely distasteful. I've been on the record more than once, and I've said it, that there are teachers, there are mechanics, there are workers up and down the line that deserve to live in every single community. And I've said this, and it's not a Republican or Democrat issue. So I'll say it to you again. Would you reach out to those same individuals and say, we need to do something different about these affordable housing laws because they are literally building on environmentally sensitive lands only to benefit the developers and no one else? It's that simple. Is that a no? There can't be common ground to say, what? The state of New Jersey isn't helping.
Got to be a better way,
municipalities.
Merrill.
They're not helping. Our schools are getting less money now than ever, even though enrollment is going to start increasing because, again, the state is requiring affordable housing to be built. Why wouldn't you want to reach out to the same individuals I want to reach out to?
There is a need for affordable housing, and I believe the amount of affordable housing that they are asking for in Hillsborough is not unreasonable. I believe building another 3,000 units for every 1,000 affordable.
Merrill, who pays for the building of affordable housing? How do you afford for the builder to build affordable housing and make a profit?
Look, I know there's a lot of other towns around here like Montgomery, like Franklin.
Like Montgomery, do you see what's happening in Montgomery right now?
They have some all affordable developments, okay?
And we're going to have an all affordable.
People apply to them, okay? And I know people have applied to Hillsborough Village. So the need is definitely there. But
I didn't say there wasn't.
This was supposed to be the one development that we didn't have to put, that we didn't have to develop a lot of market rate housing in order to enable this. And
We
it turned out
We
that
did
way.
save
And
a bunch.
I think that we could be more forceful in working with affordable housing developers that are out there. In fact, M&M or JSM is one of them. He builds all affordable houses. He did that in Somerville and he does it in other places.
So
He did that in Somerville in exchange for building a whole heck of a lot of that downtown. It was not out of the goodness of his heart. There was a lot of building, and if you go back and look at all the agreements in Somerville.
Be more committed with our affordable housing. With our affordable
But
housing.
wait a minute, the exact same things that you just said, that we were just talking about this property being built over on the old brick factory, okay? They're getting something there, they're building all affordable housing on the Sherman track, correct? That's exactly what happened in Somerville too. These same agreements took place. There's rebuilding of downtown Somerville, and they built affordable housing other places. My point being, why do you, isn't there common ground here to be found about reaching out to the same individuals that I just mentioned before and saying, what, it doesn't work. Let's do something to protect Hillsborough because it's not working. It's that simple. Is there no reason you would want to do that?
No, You're a public official, you've been talking about this for so long. You've had ample opportunities to reach out.
So you'd rather
Oh, I
just, you
reach
just
out all the
rather
time.
complain than be active.
I reach, you ask someone in Fryman, someone in Zwicker. I've spoken to Senate President Sweeney. I've mentioned this. I wish what should have happened when it was Governor Christie, he should have addressed it, and he failed to do so. Again, not Republican or Democrat, so I'll say to you again, it's not just one individual doing it. Lots of people need to reach out and say, it's broken, it doesn't work.
Thank you for your comment.
Wait, I'm not finished.
Oh.
I do have some specific questions about this. Okay, so in the affordable housing parlance here, in our, the ordinance that we passed in May, all developments have to be called inclusionary municipal construction, which would be if we did the project ourselves, or 100% affordable. Which one of these is this one? Is this one being called inclusionary even though the apartments are off-site?
Well, I haven't seen it yet because it hasn't come to the planning board, but my guess it would be inclusionary because there's nothing particularly in the site itself because it's going to be off-site. But you can see that when we do the planning
Well,
board.
I think you have some kind of site plan because you're asking for more impermeable space, so impermeable.
They have a preliminary site plan, but it has not come to the planning board at any way for review and or approval.
So if it's inclusionary, there are a lot of rules about, making sure, and I mean, to Committeeman Thompson's point.
Can you speak into the microphone, please?
There are,
Merrill, can you speak into the microphone?
I'm sorry, there are, especially post-Ida, there are a lot of people who need affordable housing. And in fact, for temporary housing, emergency housing, once the county resources, run out and the FEMA resources run out, these people are being asked to apply through affordable housing, and then they will get some kind of stipend for some number of months from FEMA or from some organization. So it's really added to the load. So how do we make sure, and I think this is a pre-planning issue. I'm going to go back to what Maria said. How do we make sure that, number one, the person who's doing the development, if it's going to be inclusionary, because there's a lot of rules with inclusionary, does own the land, and that we get to see that money, whatever amount of money we pay for that, go back into our affordable housing trust fund. And
But it won't. I'll tell you today, it won't. It didn't for RPM. That's essentially a contribution that we make.
I know, but
To
RPM
help
built all
facilitate-
affordable. They didn't build the market rate with it. It's apples and oranges. So, and the other issue is because we need the affordable housing, we have that development at Cost Cutters, which people have been saying for years. They really want to see that happen because it's now the gateway to our downtown.
Mm-hmm.
It has, it's supposed to get a facelift for the business part.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 30 more affordable units there. And,
Yeah.
applications have filled up in places like Amwell Landing and Hillsborough Village.
Do you have a point?
And yeah,
Please,
so how
can
do
you,
we?
Can you just get to it's supposed to be statement, not questions, okay?
Well, so how do we make sure that there's still affordable housing, that instead of just building this market rate housing, followed by this housing that's on Sherman Tract, which is supposed to have equal amenities, which is kind of hard to do, and it's not truly inclusionary. It's not being built at the same time. How to make sure that I know that they've just asked for extensions at JSM at Cost Cutters. How do we get that done too? How do we make sure that we're just not building 380 single-family homes that all get done first? I mean, they were going to the planning board a year ago, and we haven't seen anything.
So nothing's
in
being
7
built
or 8
right now.
months.
So to your argument, nothing's being built. So there's no impact on the school systems or anything at this point until something is being built. And it's at the builder can build at his discretion. Ready, willing, and able is the description that they use as an intervener. And at that point, they've got the settlement agreement from the fair share housing up at Judge Miller's thing. And it's at their purview to come to us for the application. So we can't drag them in. They told the judge they are ready, willing, and able. And at some point, if they don't, then the judge could take it away because they haven't done anything. But that's all we can do. We can't make them come in front of the planning board.
The other thing I'll say is if there's a perception that somehow market rate units can be built without affordable in this state in this environment where we are under a court system that oversees that, that's just a false perception. There is no way that any developer could be allowed to just build market units and not have the oversight on ensuring that there's an affordable component to it.
Can't
It just
happen.
doesn't happen.
Well, I know they have to pay an allowance when they build market rate for the
It's
For the
more than
housing
an
trust
allowance.
fund.
They pay 180,000 a unit.
The court and fair share have oversight to that it could never happen. We have to be responsible as well, because it's a development that's happening in our town. But even if there was a lack of oversight at the municipal level, the court would require that it gets built in a fashion such that the affordable is something that is usable and ready for the public. That's what they want. And we have no ability to skirt our way out of that. None.
And Ms. Bisberg, if your concern is that the market will get built and the affordable won't, I'm sure as part of the agreements, there's phasing schedules and there's agreements that you only get so many markets unless these affordables are built.
Yes.
That's how it's usually done.
Actually, there's rules in our ordinance about that, about when you get to 50%, you have to have 50%.
Yeah.
But it has to be either inclusionary or from the town.
Or it has to be,
We can
And
stipulate it.
that's why I asked.
We can stipulate it at the planning
Ms.
board.
Bisberg, we control the C of Os. So I'm sure Mr. Bernstein has protected the township in the agreements that he'll craft on behalf of the township for these affordable housing, that the two will be tied and the developer will not be able to develop all the market without giving us the affordables.
Okay.
It's done all the time.
In fact, I'll give you some, there is a development down the south end of the bypass who has come to a stop because he can't get anybody to fill his stores as part of the inclusionary kick-in. And he's because of the COVID, no one's putting storefronts in. So now he has to stop building the affordable because part of that was we didn't want him to build just the buildings and not the affordable. They had to be built together. So it's a double-edged sword, but there is those provisions in every application that we do.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for your comment. Ms. Janaszak, you got 3 minutes.
There's someone new.
Okay. Hi.
You're mighty generous, man.
Come on up, please.
I'm Jen Ramirez. I live
Hi,
at
Jen.
158 Johansson. We were affected by Ida, but we did okay. We got a little water. And so I wasn't going to come tonight. And then we had that storm this afternoon. And my 4-year-old said to my mother-in-law, "Mommy, is our house going to get flooded today?" And it's very scary.
Mhm.
And my grandparents built that house in 1955. This was the first time ever they got water in their laundry room and in their family room and in our garage. They never had water there before. So I just want to make sure when you're talking to the engineers and they're inspecting these stormwater drains, are they going to take a look at ours? Is that one of them on the list? And if
Every
not,
one.
it needs to be.
By DEP rules, you gotta be all of them.
It has to be all of them. Okay, and that report, when it's done, it will be released to the public and we'll have information and that will
Well,
need to
it'll
sink
be,
in and-
yeah, well, there's gonna be several things. There's gonna be the stormwater outflow is strictly just the conditions of the water tunnels that bring water in and out of different, like streams or whatever.
Right.
Bridges, conduits. But the other study that we actually were paying for is gonna study in a more specific area, that whole region. And yes, that'll be available.
Because the water was coming up through the sewers.
Oh, I
It
know.
was coming up out of manholes.
I-
It was not coming from the canal. It was not part
Mm-hmm.
of the, the rivers rising. It was
Mhm.
just that our township system couldn't handle the water.
A lot of water.
And when my 4-year-old said to my mother, "Mom, call mommy, the house is gonna get wet." That was terrible.
Mhm.
And we were not terribly affected. We were able to fix it and, but my neighbors on Kimberly, that's my kids' friends.
Mhm.
So I just want to make sure that as we're moving forward, we keep this story. I know it loses impact over time.
No, it's not.
hasn't.
I know,
can
but it's
assure
still
you.
early.
I know.
And these fixes aren't going to happen for months or maybe even years, and we're building, and I understand that. I was okay with the building behind our house. I really was. I said, everyone needs a place to live. I was okay with that. I said, oh, Sunny's going to get some more money. We're going to, be able to add on maybe a little bit, get some air conditioning in there. I was okay with that. But when people's lives are at stake, and my 4-year-old is anxious about rain, it's really, really upsetting. And so we'll be back on the 7th, and I'm sure we'll have some more information on the 7th for the rest of the neighborhood. but I just wanted to make sure that you heard my story.
Thank
And
you.
I want to be
Thank you.
confident that you guys are thinking about us when you're making these decisions, when you read those reports. Okay? Thank
Absolutely.
you so much. I understand it's
I
very
told him,
late.
I told the president myself,
Mhm.
right to his face, and the director of FEMA, and to the governor twice, once
Right.
privately in his car, I went, that we need to help these people.
Yeah, I mean, we just lost helicopter
So-
above us, you know?
so
And I've been
believe
writing
me.
emails to him before this.
Thank you.
And, you know, we're very active, but this is something that really is just
Mhm.
really, really important at this time.
It's a lot of work to be done. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for your comment. Tell your little daughter we'll make it okay.
This lady that just spoke, she was lucky, like she said, that she didn't get that much damage. But you all know that there was a lot of very, very horrific damage in that development. And you're still going to push this Campus Associates application with Judge Shanahan saying you can't ask them about the stormwater study, that you can't ask about a 42-inch outlet pipe. That is wrong. And
Talking
how
to
a
the wrong
judge,
person.
how a judge can say that, and you put that in an ordinance is beyond belief, is really disgusting. And those poor people suffered. And for that lady to say her 4-year-old child is now terrified when it rains is really horrible. And I hope that you people here hear what she's saying. Now, Merrill spoke, and she mentioned that development on the Glengarry property. And Attorney Willard got very, very huffy and said that they would build anyway. They would build anyway. Well, in these minutes, the Hillsborough Township Planning Board minutes from March 12, 2020, when there was a consideration of Ordinance 2020-08 to add that R8A zone. It says here, the rezoning is part of the affordable housing process. So if they were not building something somewhere, whatever, like you're saying somewhere else, would this property be rezoned? Because the zone of this property is M mining and a portion is CDZ, corporate development. So if they just came in to build a residential development, they would have to jump through hoops, according to the Hillsborough Township zoning ordinance. They would have to get use variance and all kinds of other stuff. So it wouldn't be bingo bango.
What
They
they
can just
wouldn't-
build it
I
and
say
that's
that's
it.
not true.
It's not true?
No,
No.
because the mining, when something is zoned mining and then the mining is finished, it essentially reverts to a residential zone.
That's in the municipal land use law, that it
I
just
don't know if it's in the
reverts?
municipal
It
land.
just reverts? Well, then the attorney here, who specializes in land use, can
No, he
tell us,
doesn't.
is that what would
He
happen?
doesn't specialize in land use. That'd be Eric Bernstein.
Excuse me?
Eric Bernstein
Eric
specializes.
Bernstein is the Hillsborough Township Planning Board.
He's our
attorney,
land use
but
attorney.
Attorney Willard specializes in land use. That his law firm specializes in land use and redevelopment.
He's a-
I know
he's a
that.
Municipal government.
Excuse me?
lawyer.
So I'm asking that question. Would that happen? Would that zone, mining zone, revert automatically to a
I don't know
residential
the answer to
zone?
that off the top of my head. I'd have to look that up. But
Okay.
however, he would have the right to develop the property. The point
He would
is-
come in and sue. What would happen if he literally came in and he would say, they would try to sell it to another mining facility. No other mining facility is going to go there because it's been stripped. That's the reality. They're not
Okay.
making brick there anymore. They would then come in and sue and say, listen, this property, there's no one able to buy it for this. You've spot zoned it as a mining. There's no mining facilities that will ever take place there. We want to change the zoning. And he probably 9 times out of 10, he would win in court, hands down. That's the
Okay, because-
reality. Because if we say tomorrow we said that site should be a nuclear power plant, and we said that's going to be for nuclear power plants only. Guess what? No one's coming in and building a nuclear power plant there. So then they'd come in and sue us for spot zoning incorrectly, and they would win in the same manner because it's not, wouldn't be properly zoned, and they would win.
You can't zone a property in utility, because if municipalities could do that, every single municipality would, to stop the development.
The Sherman track would be a mining spot right now. Yes.
You would just zone all properties
But-
into utility, so they
Yeah.
couldn't be used, they couldn't be developed. That would, every town would do that.
It'd be genius if we could do it.
So the Glengarry Quarry property, how long was that in existence over there? And it was zoned M for mining, and or was that zone changed when they were
In
quarrying
existence,
there?
what, 40 years?
Since the 50s or 40s, that's what was a mine. I mean, I moved here in 1973 and it was being actively mined for brick, and it had been around for
Stopped
20
in,
years prior
yeah.
to that.
and I think it stopped in like 99, 2000,
Yeah, it was
2001.
sold.
So that was the use and the zone back then. Nobody spot zoned it. And
No, 'cause
when
they were mining.
When did this new owner purchase this property?
I don't know, that's an agreement between them, that he could have had a right to build on it.
I don't
20
know.
years ago, he could have entered into
I
agreement.
don't know.
I'm not even so sure they closed title yet. I think he's the contract purchaser.
He's the contract purpose, yeah.
So, yeah. I'm
That
not
would
sure.
make- that would
They
make
might have
perfect
closed
sense.
title, but I'm not even sure. His closing of title might be contingent upon all this coming to fruition.
That makes
So
sense.
I don't understand why everyone's quaking in their boots that a developer is going to come and sue. Do they automatically win? I mean, I don't understand.
Have you seen
When
the
they
track
come- when
record
they
in
come-
New
when they
Jersey?
come in,
Well, it's really a moot point, Ms. Janicek, because they were an intervener. They went to the judge. They said, we are ready, willing to build. As part of that, we are going to build X amount of affordable housing. And the judge granted him the application. Case closed. Has nothing to do with what we'd want to zone in or not. They went to the judge, as well as all the other developers, said, we are ready, willing, and able to fulfill your housing mandate. We have opportunity to build on this land that is vacant, and we want to have it zoned and changed, and that's what the judge granted. End of story.
and
Doesn't
so-
matter.
And so every other requirement of the Hillsborough Township zoning ordinance is useless in a case like this? They can just come in and they're told, or you get it like Judge Shanahan, who says, you do what you have to do to make that application
Yes,
conforming.
we can't
To make that
generalize.
application conforming. How
You
does
can
that
make
work?
those generalizations.
Anybody else? What?
You can make those generalizations, obviously.
I'm not making generalizations. The ordinance, the order by Judge Kevin Shanahan
No,
was
that one
you
was
have
not
to-
by
you
Shanahan.
have to-
This one was not made by Shanahan.
I'm
This
not
was
talking
Judge
about
Miller.
this one. I'm talking about the one for campus.
That was judged
He
by Shanahan.
said that you have to, or by
Well, we have a
order-
choice,
By
Miss-
order, that Hillsborough Township has to make campus's application conforming, which means
we
you
have
have
a
to jump
choice.
hoops,
Yes.
so this guy
We have
can
a
get what
choice,
he
Miss.
wants.
We have a choice, Miss. We can deny it, and then we'd lose our immunity, and then they would fine us probably $700,000 or $800,000 in court costs. Plus, they would allow to build more units. That's our
Why-
choice.
Why would you lose your immunity if they don't comply with the requirements, if they don't have permits from
Miss-
the
Miss-
NJDEP?
Miss Janasek, you're
if
talking
they're
to the
causing
wrong
more
guy.
flooding, and that judge can just say, no, I don't care. You make it conforming, because that's what that ordinance says. You make this application conforming, which means he's working with that developer and not with anybody in this township.
I thank you for your comment. So that's going to close comment.
I just want to make, so your claim there was that the judge is working with the developer. I want to make sure I'm understanding that.
That's what she
Correct?
said. Okay.
Is that what, that was your claim?
Based on the ordinance, because I'm being told in an ordinance that this is what the judge ordered. I'm not saying, because I didn't hear him say it, but based on the Hillsborough Township ordinance, it says by order of Judge Kevin Shanahan, Hillsborough is supposed to make the application conforming, that it conforms, whatever you have to do to make that application conforming. That's what it says in that ordinance. That's what it says in that ordinance.
But your comment, at the comment, Dan, you said that.
No, I'm saying that ordinance, and I don't know who wrote that ordinance, because I didn't hear or see anything from the judge. It says in that ordinance, by order of Judge Kevin Shanahan, you have to make the application conforming so that it goes. And then it says they don't have to do a stormwater study. And that 42-inch pipe, don't even ask about that. That's in the ordinance. So whether the judge said it or not, but that is what is in the ordinance. I don't know who drafted that ordinance, but that is in that
I'll give you the
ordinance.
opportunity. Do you want to retract your claim that the judge was working with the developer, or are you going to leave that on the record?
Based on what is
Okay.
in the ordinance, whoever wrote that ordinance, that's what it looks like. That this is working for the developer. This is working for the developer. When you don't have to do a stormwater,
Yeah.
when that was required by Echo Sciences in the thing that they have to do a hydrologic and hydraulics study of the 42-inch pipe, and the judge says, don't do the 42-inch pipe. But I'm not saying the judge said it because I didn't hear the judge. That's in the ordinance. So whoever wrote the ordinance is claiming that that's what the judge said.
Okay.
I'll take that as a no, you don't want to retract your statement.
All right, moving
That's
on.
what I said.
Okay,
I know you
it's
did.
on the record.
Whether
All right.
I don't know why I have to retract anything. I just clarified what I said. This is in the ordinance. Whoever wrote that ordinance is saying that that's what the judge said. Whoever drafted that ordinance, and I believe that it was Attorney Bernstein who said he drafted that ordinance. So it is what he is saying that is what the judge ordered.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. All right, moving on to public hearings. 2021-19 ordinance to amend, revise, and supplement ordinance 2020-08, which is ordinance in the Township of Hillsborough, amending Chapter 188, Land Use and Development, Article 4, District and Standards, Section 1898, RA, RS, RR1, R2, RCR, AH, RCA, PD, residential districts by adding an R8 zone to apply to blocks 182, Lot 9, 11.01, 46.01, Block 183, Lot 3802, by further amending, revising, and supplementing schedule for residential zone statute 188, attachment 2 on the maximum impervious surface percentage in the R8A zone. This ordinance was introduced on the August 14th and pursuant to municipal land use law was referred to the planning board for review. The planning board has since reviewed and found this acceptable. This amendment will contribute to the township's effort to meet the affordable housing obligation consistent with the overall housing plan. May I have a motion to open to the public hearing on ordinance 2021-19?
So moved.
Thank you. I have a second.
I don't really want to, but I'll second.
Okay. So we now have any opposed? Any discussion from the dais? No. So at this point, any comments from the floor on this ordinance?
Maria Janusik, 720 East Breck Avenue, Manville, New Jersey.
Yes, Maria.
So what is this ordinance specifically doing?
Well, what-
Increasing the amount of impervious surface that's going to be part of this construction?
You just
There will
answered
be-
your own
there-
question.
What?
That's what it says, right? That's what it says.
Okay, so this ordinance 2021-19 amends ordinance 2020-08. I looked on the Hillsborough Township website and there are some dates missing as far as the, let's see, the date that it was adopted and the date that it was published is not shown on the Hillsborough Township website, where you have the code for Hillsborough, and you have the ordinances. That does not show the dates of when the ordinance that this one is amending, 2020-08, does not have those two dates. Now, in accordance with the,
Well, I believe that actually in the whereas I'm seeing on the thing, it's first time, whereas Hillsborough Township Committee adopted on April 28th of 2020, the ordinance.
it's on,
It's in the writing.
adopted and hold on a second. Adopted and published, all of the dates are on there?
Yep.
All the dates are on there, okay.
April
So now-
28th, 2020.
So now in accordance with the municipal land use law, section 40:55D-16, filing of ordinances, the ordinance has to be filed with the Somerset County Planning Board, and you have the date of filing before it becomes effective. So where is the record of when this was filed with the Somerset County Planning Board? Because you can't amend this ordinance, can't pass this ordinance amending the previous one if the previous one hasn't been filed with the Somerset County.
Of course you can. You absolutely could amend it.
What?
You absolutely could amend it.
Absolutely.
Where does it say in the, where does it say in the?
Okay, all right,
No,
go ahead, go ahead, amend it. Go ahead. You-
Maria, I was
you can do
talking,
anything you
Maria,
want.
I was
You're right.
talking,
I'm
Maria,
agreeing with you.
Maria, I
You
was
can do anything
talking,
you want.
Maria. You just complained 14 minutes ago for 30 minutes about letting you talk.
Go ahead.
Can I have 2 seconds, please?
You got it.
Thank you. Courtesy works both ways.
Yes, you're right.
And I've been giving you a lot of
Right.
courtesy, so
Right.
allow me to
Well, yeah.
continue,
Go ahead.
okay?
Okay.
You're allowed to, we are absolutely allowed to amend an ordinance.
Okay.
Show me in the municipal land use law in that same section where it says we can't.
All right, then I'll take that back.
Okay.
I'll take that back. What I'm saying is
Thank you.
that you are amending ordinance 2020-08. Can you please
Agreed.
show when this ordinance was filed with the Somerset County Planning Board with the date of filing? Because that is what is required for this ordinance to be in effect.
Do you not have that in front of me?
I don't have that in front of me, and quite honestly, the development hasn't even been built yet, but that would be something that you could have to look into with our friends at the planning board. But regardless, this is really about the amending of this particular ordinance, not when it was filed. So do you have another comment on what we're doing
Don't know
today?
that you necessarily have to have the development built before the ordinance is
No,
filed.
but as
This is
you
the
just,
ord- this is
as
an
you just
ordinance.
agreed, we
This
can
is
amend
an
it at any
ordinance.
time. So
No, this
what's,
is the
don't
prior
have the date,
ordinance
but I had some
that
notes.
amended, that included the zone.
This is a very easy question. The bottom line is she is correct. According to municipal land use law, when you drop the land development ordinance, it does get sent over to the county.
Mhm.
I'm sure the clerk sent it over to the county. And even if it hasn't, the bottom line is, as long as it eventually is, becomes effective when it's sent over there. But you,
And I don't have that date in front of me. It's at the office.
it's all right.
You're saying when it eventually is?
I'm not, I'm pretty
You ju-
confident
you
the
just
clerk
said when it
sent it over
eventually
there.
is. So whose responsibility is it to file an amendment to a zoning ordinance?
She doesn't have the date.
I don't have the date in front of me. It is in the office.
Okay.
It is the responsibility, as you stated, Mrs. Janasek, it is the responsibility of the municipal clerk to send the ordinance to the planning board.
Okay.
To
So,
Somerset County.
so being that we're talking about adopting another ordinance,
No, we're
Then
not. We're
this-
amending.
you're adopting an ordinance that amends a prior ordinance.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes, okay. So this should be part of the record here. When, if someone says, when was 2020, the
2020
prior one? 2020-08, when was that filed with the Somerset County Planning Board? That should be one of the things that should be bingo bango answered right away. Because we're talking about this. This is what we're
This is
having a
the same
public
issue
hearing
we've
on.
had before, right? I'm not trying to be difficult with you, but I've given you this comment at least a dozen times. There are the minor items that you point out we don't have in front of us. We're looking at the big picture of the ordinance. A date when something was filed is not something that we have in front of us when we're trying to approve this. If you have a question on that, we could probably resolve it before you get here. But you never choose to do that. You always want to come up here and ask us what the date was and why I can't see this date. I don't know how else to tell you that we don't have that information in front of us. So if you would like it, Ms. Borak can give it to you tomorrow.
Okay.
And we're going to go ahead and do this ordinance because we believe it was filed. And if it's not, we'll correct it.
Okay.
Okay, is that good enough for you?
First of all, this is not a minor thing because that's the previous ordinance. And that's a requirement of the municipal land use law that it be filed with the Somerset County Planning Board with the date of filing. That is not a minor,
We
oh,
haven't-
let's
we
forget
haven't said
about it.
it's not.
No, so that is not, I want to say, that is not a minor thing.
No.
And when you want to make changes to that ordinance with a new one, then you should have information on that original ordinance. That is what I'm saying. And yes, I will check with Ms. Borek, and I do these things, and I do submit requests through the Open Public Records Act, and I get answers that are nothing, or I get a piece of paper. I've gotten a piece of paper that mentions the ordinance, and then it gives a date of when it was adopted. But there's all this information that needs to be filled in that isn't there. There's no signature of an official. It's a piece of junk paper. Thank you.
Excuse me, that piece of paper comes from the Somerset County Planning Board. They check off a box. There's an item, there's like 5 items on the side. They check it off and they send it back to us. That is their method. If you have a problem with the way they send back their acknowledgement of the way that they got their ordinance, then that's something you need to take up with them. It's not something that you're going to get an official signature of some high-level official. It is a matter of they received it, they checked the box, and they send us the receipt. That is the document you've gotten. It is not a piece of junk.
On the paper that I got, on the bottom, it says if there is any information missing, to contact whoever it is that has to be contacted, and there is no signature of anyone. That is something
The
I can
planning
make up
board, it's
and
the-
hand out to everybody.
It's the
So-
Somerset County Planning Board. That's their document. That's what we get back from them. I can't change their document. I can't make them give me something that doesn't exist.
So do you have a date of filing from?
We don't, Ms. Janusik.
Off
We
the
just
top
said.
of my head, I don't. I apologize that I don't have it
I'm
memorized.
not asking right now. I'm asking, is there a document
We
that
have to
shows
look
the
at-
date of filing with the, because you also need to have a change in the township zoning map as well.
If you receive-
Which also, I've gotten responses, hasn't been changed to date. No, we don't have it yet. And that's it. Bingo, bango. That's it.
Thank you for your comment.
Merrill District 4, Hickory Hill Road. Going back to the big picture of the ordinance,
Thank you.
well, I hope you agree with me that I'm going back to the big picture.
That's a big picture question.
Yeah,
Not
no,
one,
the
you
big
know,
picture
Not a
is-
date that we don't have in front of
The
us.
big picture actually is the original ordinance, but just sitting here, 3 weeks after this flood, knowing that not just the edges of town that are along the rivers, but places all over, and believe me, I've been to them in the last 3 weeks, all over town, places that never flooded before, flooded. Not only do I not understand why we're building this, but I don't understand why we would increase impervious surface under any circumstances now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments from the floor? Okay,
Motion to close public.
thank you. Second?
I'll second a motion to close public and to keep in conformance with the affordable housing plan so we don't lose our immunity.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Committeeman Thompson,
Yes.
Committeeman Wright,
Abstain.
Deputy Mayor Belfer.
I'm sorry. If you don't agree with it, vote no. Abstention is just, whatever. Yes.
Order. No, he's not.
And Mayor LaFont.
Yes.
Yes.
No. All right. 2020-23, an ordinance appropriating certain monies held by Township of Hillsborough, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey for the purchase of various capital improvements in the amount of $741,000. And for the Township of Hillsborough, further consideration public hearing to be held on October 26, 2021. May I have a motion to introduce this ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Committeeman Thompson,
Yes.
Committeeman Wright,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Belfer,
Yes.
Mayor LaFont.
Yes. We have our consent agendas, numbers 1 through 13. Anyone wishing to take any of these resolutions separately? No. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Jeffrey. We have a second?
Second.
Okay, comments from the dais. Anthony?
Thank you, Mayor. First, I'd like to recognize Mr. Fairber. Glenn Fairber will be joining us as our part-time maintenance person. I'm thrilled to have him on board. His position's been open for a while because we haven't had the right person with the skill set that he has. So we're very thankful that we'll have that maintenance person here in the evenings and weekends to help out. So welcome aboard, and thank you for your patience tonight. I know you have lots of patience, that's for sure. It's number 10. Number 10 also, as part of our floater program, rebuilding that floater program because we were able to fill some positions in the past few meetings. Justin Rotullo will be joining us as well as our floater position. So I want to welcome him aboard as well. So, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Anthony. And I'll echo those comments. Any other comments from the dais?
Just add congratulations to Lieutenant Samansky for achieving permanent status.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Comments from the floor on this consent agenda?
Maria Janusik. There are two, all right, let's see, consent number 1 and consent number 3 seem to be for the same thing. Transfer of earned amounts from the subdivision and site plan engineering trust accounts. And it's showing Gateway Phase 7 on one and Gateway Phase 7 on the second one. Why do you have it done in two separate resolutions?
I think they're different phases. Yeah.
There's also the NJAW 2021-15, and then on the next page, it's NJAW.
The reason the first one is July transfer and the second one is an August transfer.
Okay, because it doesn't
It does
Doesn't
say
show
that
that
in the
here.
attachments. It's listed.
doesn't show that here.
Nope. We could have done it in one resolution. I'm sure the reason it was done in two is because they're two separate memos from our Assistant Township Engineer, Mr. Ballinger, based upon when he did them. So I'm sure that's why there's two resolutions.
Okay, well, because it doesn't say anything here that it's separate dates or whatever, so I was wondering why. And on consent number 3, at the last item, it says Sherman Track. It's not the Sherman Track, is it? Is there a Sherman Track?
I don't see anything.
Which number are you on?
986. That's a
Consent number 3. Consent number 3, the last item under name. That the Sherman Tract?
Yeah, it's a Sherman Track. It's a Sherman.
Yes.
Okay, but well then, I don't know why it says Sherman Track on there. Okay, and consent number 6. Resolution authorizing renewal nunc pro tunc of Hillsborough Group LLC for the 2019-2020 license. So how is this done? This is a retroactive authorization? Is this for 1 year or renewal from 2019 onward, or how does this work?
Mayor, may I?
Yes, you may.
It is a one-year renewal as stated in the resolution 19 to 20, because at the time there was a failure to submit the renewal. So it is retroactive. That's what that
For the year-
phrase means,
For the year 2019 to 2020.
as it's listed in the resolution, correct?
And so now what happens to the,
That, it was the 2019 to 2021 was renewed already, and what year are we in? 21, 22 has been renewed.
so 2020 to 2021 was renewed without?
They
without the
had a
2019 renewal?
failure, did not renew, and they filed to the division for a special ruling, which they did receive. And, which was done, I believe at another previous meeting, we have their proof of publication for their special ruling. And I was advised by the ABC last week that this resolution needed to be considered by the governing body this evening to retro approve that year renewal. And that is the proper way to do it.
So it's listed as the Hillsborough submitted the renewal late fee in 2019 because they sort of late. So we have to retroact and approve it as a legal body.
Plain and simple, they didn't do what they were supposed to do in
They're late.
19.
Right.
They went to the ABC, they asked for forgiveness. The ABC gave forgiveness.
Right.
They gave everything to the ABC, and now they're getting a retroactive renewal.
Okay.
And we got paid.
Except that how do they renew in 2021 if they had to go through this process? Why didn't they go through this process last year?
Done by the state. Doesn't the state handle?
This goes through the ABC.
The ABC, we don't,
We just have to accept it.
yeah, we just have to accept it. If I understand this correct, because I was here, I think Sarah answered that when Pam was out. I think this came up.
All right.
Put the mic
so-
in front of you.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm just trying to bring a little point of clarification to it. As I understand this is through ABC. So you fill out your application pretty much online. We as a town don't have really that much say on that, as I understand it. And then once the ABC tells us what to do, we do it. So this is for me a no-brainer. I don't understand what your concerns
So
are.
the township doesn't keep track of the Hillsborough Township?
No, that's not our
licenses?
responsibility, as I understand it.
We have a listing of the licenses, but I'm not about to go and tell them what to do. That they own their asset, that license is an asset. They have responsibility to timely file. That, as Mr. Willard mentioned, that didn't happen. So now this is how to fix that situation.
But you have documentation, because you do put this in resolutions. You have documentation that they renewed their liquor license for 2020, 2021.
We
I
did that
believe
last
they
meeting.
were on the resolution previously, yes.
All right, thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, motion to close and adopt consent agenda.
So moved.
say roll call.
Roll call, please.
Benjamin Thompson,
Yes.
David Wright,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Delacqua,
Yes.
Mayor LaPlante.
Yes. All right, claims list 2021-15. May I have a motion to approve claims list 21-21-15?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you. Second.
Second. Bless you.
Roll call, please.
Benjamin Thompson,
Yes.
David Wright,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Delacqua,
Yes.
Mayor LaPlante.
Yes. That concludes our meeting this evening. Our next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, October 12th at 7 p.m.
Oh, sorry.
Uh,
I'm sorry.
Public comment on claims list. Sorry. My bad. Hello, Maria.
January 6th. On the supplemental check register, there's a vendor, Robin Blamis. Is that someone who was connected with there was some kind of a grant given to the township, and this was supposed to be an employee of the township? Is Robin Blamis an employee of the township?
She's not an employee, she's paid through a grant.
She's what?
She's not a salaried employee, she's paid through a grant.
Paid through a grant from the state?
Paid through a
Yes,
grant.
vulnerable populations grant.
She's
So
not an employee. She-
who does she work for? I mean, who does she work for?
The health department.
She's got $700.
The health department.
What?
The health department.
Hillsborough
That
Township
grant,
Health Department?
that grant is administered by the health department.
But she doesn't work for the Hillsborough Township Health Department.
Correct. It's like a consultant. So she's not an employee. She's not a salaried employee. She is
And so what is,
vendor, if you will,
what is her,
through the grant.
does she work for a specific organization or company or agency?
Yes.
She does. Who is it?
You didn't ask that, you just want to know.
What?
I don't know the answer.
She worked for a company, she does.
Well, and so is there a name of this company that she works for?
I'm sure we have that.
We can get that for you.
Okay. All right, there's also redemption of a tax sale certificate for $144,000. Christian Trust as custodian. You don't show the block and lot number for the property this is a lien redemption for?
Don't know. I don't know.
It's a lot of money.
Well,
Glad we got it.
Okay, let's see here.
Okay, Mary, I guess.
yeah, anything else,
Conclusive.
Mr. Janusik?
I'm sorry,
Thank you.
but this is very difficult to work with.
Well, if you want to read it and come up with a question as you're reading it, that's different than if you actually have a specific question that you knew about that you wanted to know. It's not here to sit here and let you read through 22 pages of stuff.
I'm not reading through it, I did.
So-
Noted.
If you do have a
So,
question,
why
feel
don't
free to email Ms.
Oh, okay,
Costa. She'll be
okay,
happy to
all
help.
right, okay. Page 73 of 79?
We don't have a page number of 73 or 79, but what is the issue?
It's showing here substitute judge, prosecutor.
Mhm.
Eric Bernstein.
Yes.
Conflict Municipal Prosecutor, $400. So what is this for?
So if the prosecutor-
What is the substitute judge? Is Eric
He's not a
Bernstein
judge,
ever
he's a
substitute
prosecutor.
judge?
The judge is the same. That's
Frank
Frank
Tadeo.
Tadeo. But if our prosecutor has a conflict for, or is on vacation and we need to have a fill-in, that is what his fee is for that day.
So he filled in as prosecutor for that day and
That's correct.
he was paid $400.
He's the secondary
Yes.
prosecutor.
He's listed as our secondary prosecutor.
Ms. Chancellor, we can't have you go through every page here. I mean, with all due respect, we have business to attend to,
Okay.
so.
You had that, you
Okay.
could have done that
Okay, we got
for the
one
2
more.
hours you were sitting
One
here
more
watching
It says
before the meeting started.
Department of Legal Services outside. Okay, legal services outside, and it says DeFrancesco Bateman, Labor General, and there are two of them. One is for $2,921.03. One is for $1,170. I thought that Eric Bernstein is the labor attorney for Hillsborough, so why is DeFrancesco Bateman?
I guess you'd be wrong.
Yeah.
No,
not the
that's
labor
incorrect.
I guess you would be wrong.
I would be wrong, why?
Yeah, because
Mr.
he's
Bernstein is
not.
not our
You're the
labor.
labor attorney?
Yes.
Our firm is a labor
Firm
attorney.
is, yes.
Richard Flom does it.
That is correct.
Richard Flom does it?
Yeah.
That is
For my
correct.
firm.
And that's,
2
and
years
that's,
now?
and that's in the,
Two?
Oh.
Just one?
and that's in the,
Yes.
redevelopment, what is that? The-
January.
No, it's not in any redevelopment. It's not in any
The
redevelopment.
reorganization meeting, yes.
Reorganization, I'm
That
sorry.
would be,
Yes.
yes, sure.
Reorganization.
That would be in January,
Okay.
yeah.
So that would be, Mr. Flom?
Yes.
Is the labor
Yes.
attorney? Okay, and, all right, so that also would be something like like Attorney Bernstein had, where there's a $50,000 maximum?
I don't remember.
I don't
the
recall
maximum
what
was.
his rates were and maximum, but it would be usually similar to that, yes.
Okay, so we have two attorneys from the DeFrancesco Bateman law firm. That would be Attorney Willard and then Attorney Flom.
Yes,
Any more or just those two? You know, off the top?
Well, we hire the
Well,
firm.
we hired the
that's
firm.
correct. They hire the firm and
Hire the
They
firm?
supply the
They
lawyer.
supply the lawyers based upon their specialties.
So that's not based on the individual attorney like Mr. Willard?
That's correct. We agree that Mr. Willard will be representing us from the firm, but we hire the firm.
So when you have the tax appeal attorney, who does that? Does that Mr. Willard do that, or do you have another attorney from the firm?
That would be
It's-
correct.
What-
we have another firm, we have another attorney from the firm.
As I said, we hire the firm, and then depending upon the specialty of need, we get the lawyer that specializes in that type of work.
Okay, because in the minutes, it does state a specific attorney, so.
Yeah, they
that's why-
designate the attorney once they're awarded the contract.
They what?
They designate the attorney once the contract is awarded.
But there's not just a contract with the firm, there's a contract showing the name of the attorney. All right, thank you.
Can't make it any simpler. Okay, thank you. Any other comments? Okay, motion to, we approved, so, right? We vote roll call, please.
Yes.
So
Go ahead.
motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn. Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. The next meeting, October 12th at 7:30. Hillsborough, New Jersey, celebrating 250 years of a rich history.
Hi, I'm Mayor Sean Lapani, and I'm proud to showcase Hillsborough, one of the best places to live in America.
From the preserved farms that help feed the world, to the Vanderveer House, to the John R. Stott's house, restored and currently utilized for business, to the magnificent and world-famous Duke Farms,
Where you can walk or ride a bike through their historic grounds. To the iconic Neshannock Reformed Church, and just down the road is our fabulous Neshannock Mill, located right on the picturesque Raritan River.
You're invited to visit Hillsborough, a great place to live, work, play, and do business anytime. And experience over 250 years of proud history in Hillsborough, New Jersey.